Very oddly scheduled live stream today. I'm actually taking off some time from work today, so we're gonna do this oddly timed final part of the Lego Optimus Prime build. Last time on part 3, we actually finished the main robot. I didn't realize that we had finished the main robot. You can see here, he's completely done for the main bot. Now only thing we have are the accessories, and that's it. And then off at the end, I'll go ahead and show off the transformation and so forth. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Oh, where did the instructions go? There we go. So we only have 2 bags left. Let's see here. We're gonna do the ion blaster, and then also the backpack, energon cube, and such and so forth. So we're going with part 9 here. Yeah, it's kind of random to be doing this on a Friday morning, but I have so many vacation days that I actually can't take them all before the end of the year. I think I have like 16 or 17 vacation days, and there aren't that many business days left in the year. So I'll unfortunately lose some vacation days because my company doesn't have a rollover period or anything like that, which is a bit of a bummer, but it is what it is. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Looks like we're making the matrix first, which is cool. I've also been doing a lot more research on what other custom mods and so forth that folks have been doing. I know I talked about the head, but there are actually a bunch of them. Some that I think I'm gonna do are like replacement, or modified legs, upper legs, so that you get knee articulation and thigh rotation instead. And that sounds like it will be very, very cool to have that. Yeah, and then the head, I definitely want to modify that. I'm trying to figure out which version of the head I want to do, because there are several different variations. Some that use the existing parts primarily, like the eyes and so forth, and some that just replace those completely with other parts. So here is the matrix. This way, I suppose. Oh, did I put it on backwards? Oh yeah, I think I put it on backwards. Hold on. Yeah, it's supposed to be this way so that the ports are faced that way. Kind of interesting. I feel like this is like an illegal building node method, because it's not really pegged in here. It's just wedged between these two. I feel like that's not a official means. And then, oops. Sorry, let me scooch this up. So what you do here with the matrix, pretty basic, is put it in right there. Close up the chest. I would have liked something a little bit more complex than that, but it is what it is. Wait, yeah, I got it right. Okay. All right, now we're building the energon cube, which is also going to be very, very basic. Let's see what we got here. So we're just going to use all these translucent purple parts, which do have that very energon-ish hue to them. Okay, so as you would expect from just a cube, this build portion is very simple. It's basically just alternating 1x2 blocks. I also found that in the instructions looking forward, you can actually have weapon storage for the blaster in alt mode, which is kind of standard for Optimuses these days to go right between the legs, but I was actually shocked to see that they went out of their way to be able to do that. Alright, so I think this is the Energon Cube. It would have been nicer if they had some translucent top and bottom pieces, but it is what it is. Next, we're making the Energon X. Hey, Lowell, how's it going? Okay, sounds good. Yeah, I took my daughter to school way earlier. Let's see here. So we're going for the Energon X. But yeah, as I was saying, the gun at least has some storage in alt mode. Speaking of Optimus Primes and accessories, there was news of the new Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime, the Commander class that has like the trailer and hopefully all these accessories. I shared a image of that, which ended up being like a digibash, so it wasn't real. I shared that on my Discord, and immediately got told, no, that's fake. And I'm like, oh darn. But you know, it is confirmed that it is an actual figure. We just haven't seen the actual photos of it yet. So excited for that. You can never have too many Optimuses in your collection. The other thing that I was talking about in Discord was the alternate build for this, where you can build the IDW version of Optimus. I'm probably gonna buy a KO set. They're only like $40 on some Chinese resellers for this set, and the cool part about that model is that, or that plan is that it uses only existing parts in the set that we have here to make a completely different figure, completely different Optimus. Again, it's much taller, it's lankier to have that IDW look. But I was shocked to find out that you were able to do that with just the existing parts. Obviously, you could have made a more accurate version of it without using just the parts that are here. But yeah, I'm planning on probably doing that. But I got a whole backlog of Lego stuff and KOs, so that probably won't be for a while. For example, I want to make the what are these rods? Okay, I want to make the trailer, the KO trailer, not KO, MOC trailer. So I think the MOC stands for my own custom. So there's a KO Lego set that is a custom design for a trailer. So I already have that. I just need to actually make it. So that might be what I do next. But I also am very anxious to build the Lego question mark box for Super Mario and the Bowser. Both of those are KO sets that I bought. So I want to build those as well. So I have a whole bunch of stuff that I want to do. I also haven't done an actual review in quite a while, so I'll probably do one later today that will actually be a Transformers review as opposed to random builds. I have a whole backlog that I need to do. I'm taking most of the end of the year off, so starting on like the 15th, I'll have way more free time to just try to eat through my backlog. This is quite an interesting build here. The way that they're using some of these pieces to make this axe. This is a kind of a unique piece as well. Oh, I just realized it's not symmetrical either. I guess I should take this off and make it so it's symmetrical. Wait, are these not the same pieces? They are. Oh, because they're not, oh, I see, because they're not symmetrical left and right, so, okay. All right, where were we on this build? So here we are. I gotta start planning my holiday shopping. I have to figure out what I'm gonna get my kids. My son's 13 now. And he wants to build a custom computer, but I'm not paying for all those parts. Oh, nice. Thanks, Lowell. But I'm definitely not paying for him to build all that. So we have kind of an agreement that I'll help him with some parts, depending on what he wants. I might end up getting him a monitor. I think that might be what I end up doing. What is? Huh? It's kind of okay. There we go. Yeah, I think I might want to get him a kind of more of a gaming oriented monitor, because he does have one, but it's not like, you know, a really nice gaming one that has a nice refresh rate. He probably wants a curved one. I'm not really into like curved monitors, but you know, his cousin has one, so he probably wants one. His cousin is the one that built his custom PC, gaming PC, so that's why my son's kind of on a kick where he wants to do that. So we'll see. Maybe I'll help him out with a few main parts of that, but he's going to definitely need to buy and pay for the majority of the parts here with his own money. What am I looking at here? Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, you need a new PC too. Well, yeah, I moved away from laptops a while ago just because I work from home. So I've had an iMac for a while. Titan says you could consider renaming your channel to Paik4Random live streams. Yes, yes, yes. That is me. Hey, you should be happy that I'm actually even doing this. Oh, I think I put this on incorrectly. Oh yeah, these are supposed to be lined up. And you should be happy that I'm actually even doing anything. I was not feeling like doing anything today, but I was like, well, that would be a complete waste if I didn't at least do something today with my day off. How does this connect? Oh, it connects here. Gotcha. All right. We got most of this axe done. And now let's see. Yeah, I could have been way lazier and just did nothing, but I just realized I have so much stuff that I need to get done. So I might as well try to make use of some time here. I always make excuses that I don't have time for stuff, and that would not be a valid excuse here. This connects through here. Oh, interesting. Okay. All right, so this looks like the Energon axe. And the way we connect it to Optimus is by taking off this hand and then rotating this down and plugging this in to there. All right, cool. Yeah, there we go. Energon axe completed. Nice. And you can do that with either arm. He does have ports for that, so nice. All right. The next part we'll get to is the Ion Blaster. And then we'll move on to bag 10, which will be the backpack or the jetpack. All right. Well, it's kind of cool that they have this little ridge piece here. But yeah, one thing about doing random live streams is that I can just maybe convince folks that they need to subscribe and click that notification bell. Otherwise, they'll be missing everything. Or alternatively, I could just not do the random live streams and actually schedule those. But that's more work for me, not more work for you. I'm all about making more work for other folks and not for myself. You can ask my coworkers about that. All right. What am I looking at here? All right, there we go. Yeah, so aside from being lazy today, I do have lunch plans with some of my former colleagues from my job. Oh man, I guess it's been like 5 years? No, it has been more than 5 years. So I'm having lunch with my couple of old colleagues as well as my old VP, my vice president. We all still keep in touch fairly regularly, so nothing too surprising, but it's always nice to catch up with old colleagues. How does this work? Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, but I'm pretty excited about catching up with them. What? Oh, it's underneath. Oh, I thought this was. Oh, okay. So this is the back of. Yeah, that makes sense. It looks like the back here. Again, Lego always surprises me in the way they build things. Oops, I actually forgot a piece here. That they build things, and it makes it always kind of a pleasant surprise as you build it. All right, so we got this piece, this cap. Got this little rotational piece and a barrel cover. Is that what that is? Where's that? Oh, here we go. Oh, see? I thought this was maybe part of the barrel, but this actually goes in like this as the handle. All right. Hey, Primax, how's it going? Oh, let me catch up here. Lowell says my Lenovo is left over from returning to university, which I finished back in 2016. Yeah, that's long in the tooth. 8 years old now. Well, seeing that we're almost 2024. Titan says sometimes on a day off doing nothing is best, but this build is looking good. Yep. But yeah, it's funny because I told my wife that I'm planning to take the last 2 weeks off, just because I have so much vacation time, and she proceeded to dump all this stuff on me that I need to do. She's like, "Well, the kids now have a dentist appointment on the 26th. We need to take Cameron for his haircut. You need to do this. You need to do that." I'm like, I'm better off not even taking vacation. I should just keep working, and then I wouldn't have to do all this stuff. But I can't complain. My wife does way more work at home than I do, so having a couple days where I have to do stuff is not a huge deal. What? Oh, okay. And this piece goes like this. This goes on top. Yeah, the way that they design some of the stuff so that you get a lot of that design. I mean, they easily could have made this a lot easier to build and just have it kind of be a complete like cylinder, but the fact that they're building these layers to give it a little bit more shape and definition, it's very cool. Get a bit more accurate on some things. Then there are some things that I really just don't understand why they do it the way they do. Like, you know, having Optimus only have three fingers, well, 4 fingers instead of 5. I feel like they could have designed that a bit better. I'm sure there are probably alt builds for that as well, but I digress. So this goes through here. The one thing that always gives me a bit of anxiety to when building Lego is that they always have some spare parts, right? And I'm always like, it's never clear if the leftover parts are a mistake that you made or actually leftover parts. So the part of me is always like, I wish they would tell you when you what leftover parts you're supposed to have, which is kind of odd, but yeah, I think I would enjoy that. So I think this is it. Yeah, so see, like, there's a ton of leftover parts here. Like, they're usually like the small parts. Like, I don't even know. Oh, yeah, there was one part of the Energon-X, but like, yeah, there's like every small part that you could imagine having, they have one extra of all those. So it would just be nice to have a little bit of information on which ones are leftover or ones that you actually left off the build by mistake. All right, I'm using this with Optimus. You grip it not really with here, but you actually use these studs here and tab those in, and it just ends up lining up with the hands. So then you have the ion blaster on one side. Let's get them all wet. Oops, sorry, broke off his hand here. And here you can see that there's a cross port here. Oh no, I broke this off. So now he's all weaponed up and ready to go with his Energon Cube. And let me get rid of these. And then we'll go on to the final bag. All right. Bag 10. And then we'll be done with Lego Optimus. Bag 10, I believe it's just the jetpack. Who knows? There might be one or two small other things that come with it, but all right. This looks actually way more involved than I was expecting for the backpack, but all right, let's get to it. But yeah, continuing on the random conversation about getting gifts for my kids for Christmas, I gotta put some thought into that. I also forgot I had posted a deal where you can get every year Target does a sale on their gift cards, where you can get 10% off gift cards, and I posted it. And then I myself forgot to do it. So you can buy like $500 worth of gift cards for $450, and that's as good as cash for me, since I shop at Target so much. I think a lot of us do for our Transformer/plastic crack needs. And then I totally forgot, and I looked. It was only for a weekend, and I totally missed it. They usually bring it back again before Christmas, so I'll probably have another chance at it. But yeah. I also did do some responsible stuff the other day. another thing that we randomly posted about in Discord, in my Discord server, was how some folks wanted to open up some high yield savings accounts. So we're talking about adulting stuff here right now, so I know that might be kind of boring, but I had meant to do one for quite a while, and I finally opened one up at Capital One because they had like a 4.3% interest rate for a high yield savings account, as well as a bonus depending on how much you deposit in within the first like 15 days or so. Set that up. We'll get like, I think like a $1,500 sign up bonus, which is nice. Baker Jin, who's very active on my channel and my community, is really into personal finance. So he was sharing some tips and some websites and some other accounts. The other thing that I'll probably do for my son is actually make a checking account for him and get him a debit card. So I've been looking through a number of different options for teenager checking accounts. I got to decide which ones I want. A lot of them are like come at a small fee. I don't know if I want to do that. And then others, like you need to have a account with Chase, a checking account, and then you can open up a secondary one for your child to be able to monitor that kind of stuff. So I got to look into that. That's all the other adulting stuff that I need to do while I'm on vacation. And while I am on vacation, I'm still going to be hanging around. So I'm one of those weird, I don't want to say workaholics, but, I work from home 100% of the time, aside from, random meetings and so forth. And people are always like, oh, that must be so nice. And I'm like, well, yes and no. For those of you who don't do that, then yeah, people think, oh, you have it sweet. But it's definitely a double-edged sword in the sense that you gotta have to make sure that there's boundaries there, right? Because then you always feel like when you're home and you work from home, you always feel like you're kind of on the clock all the time. Because even if I am not working or it's late night, if I get an email, I feel like, oh, I can just run downstairs to my work computer and jump on real quick and do this email or do this tasker. And so you almost always, while you do get the benefit of not having to drive into the office a lot, if you're not careful, you always feel like you're working, even when you're not on hours, right? So I guess the grass is always greener. But yeah, it's definitely a nice benefit. I won't say that it's not nice, but I'm used to it too. I had my last few jobs had been working from home basically 100% of the time. But then you also lose out on a lot of like the social aspects of, just going to the office, the water cooler talk and so forth, just that human interaction. Some people don't really mind that. I definitely do miss that aspect of it, but I'm pretty social on just our media stuff, like our Teams channels and our emails and stuff forth. So I get by, but I know some people are not that comfortable with that, or really need to kind of push themselves to be more engaged on those types of media and so forth. So I think I messed up here. No. Did I? Wait, I'm getting confused because these pieces keep flipping around. Oh, this was supposed to be on this side? Yes. Okay. Sorry about that. But yeah, I think I would find it difficult to go back into the office 100% of the time, or even like, I don't know, like when I was searching for my current job, which I've been at going on a year and a half now, I I received an offer from another company to go into an office 3 days a week, which wasn't even that far from me, but it was like a, 30-minute drive or something like that. And they were like, "Yeah, it's only 3 days a week," and I was like, "F that nonsense." And most people, and it was for actually more money than I'm making now, but I think it was for like $20,000 more than I'm making now. But I was like, no, that's definitely not worth it for me. $20,000 a year in just the time you lose commuting, the gas, the wear and tear on your car, and just your sanity. Because it wasn't just a regular office; it was um, a facility where you wouldn't have access to the internet and stuff like that. So if I'm sure folks know what I'm talking, some folks will know what I'm talking about, but going into areas where you can't, literally don't have access to the internet the whole day, can't use your phones and stuff like that. You think that's not a huge deal, but I mean, it makes you feel very disconnected from the world. So it was not worth it for me just for that amount of money to go into the office 3 days a week. And again, not just a regular office. Again, trying to make that clear. All right, making good progress here. Yeah, and just rambling. So I'm off work, but surprisingly, I'm talking about work. But I was very surprised with my current company. They're in government contracting, and they're a company that is really strong on culture. It's not a huge company. It's like 300, 400 folks, but usually even when you get around that size, you start losing kind of the identity of the organization and so forth. But I was really pleasantly surprised that they weren't just talking the talk when I was interviewing with them about culture being important. They definitely come at it in spades. So that is to say, if you are in IT and have an interest in a job in government contracting, let me know. We do a bunch of different stuff for the government. So if you have interest, hit me up. The easiest way probably will be on Discord. But yeah, my company's always looking at hiring good folks. All right. We're getting close, I feel. I'm supposed to add... Oh, was I supposed to add another 2x4 here? No? Oh, sorry. Okay, I'm going out of order. Got the little vents, side swipes, jetpack that he loans Optimus. But yeah, the whole culture and family life balance thing. Hopefully, I know almost all of us are probably working here, but hopefully people are mindful of that. When you're younger, it's probably less important. I remember at one of my first jobs, they were like, the pay was a little low, but they were like, well, one of the benefits is that we cover all your healthcare deductibles, stuff like that. And I'm like, what do I care about that? I go to the doctor like once a year at most. That's because I was like, 23 and healthy, no worries. But once you get married, and then especially when you're about to have children, not having healthcare coverage would make having a child super expensive in the U.S. It's actually just ridiculous how expensive it is to have a child, give birth in the U.S. without health insurance. Oh, sorry. So Titan asks, when you say culture is important, what do you mean for your company? Um, so I'm talking about like things like, family, like life balance, um, things like, so one example, and again, this is kind of a private story, but one that I think will be easy to, oh shoot, I messed up on these. One that you all will have, no, I didn't. Oh yeah, I did. One that you'll kind of understand is, um, as not all of you, but anyone who's followed my channel knows, I lost my mother earlier this year, back in April, and at that time I'd only been with my company for about not even a year. It was like right before my 1 year anniversary or something like that, and oh man, I did this all backwards, and um, obviously, all companies, like, well, not all, but most companies will give you like bereavement leave for loss of family member or something like that, which is pretty standard. So I took off my time, let my company know that I need to spend some time with my family and everything like that. And they're like, yeah, of course, take all the time you need. Again, pretty standard, right? But when I actually was, dealing with my mother's arrangements and everything, we were holding the funeral, and when we got there were some flower arrangements. Some were for friends and family or neighbors or coworkers that my dad knew, friends of the family and so forth. But then there were a couple that we weren't sure where they came from, and then when we read the card, one was from one of my colleagues who works for me on one of my teams, and his wife, which was very, very nice, and then one was from my company, which again is very nice. That's not the surprising part. The surprising part was that I had never told them that any information on my mother's funeral arrangements, my hometown, even my mother's name, or anything like that. And yet they were able to find out, who my mother was, when what the funeral home would be, when the funeral was actually going to happen and be held, and they sent those arrangements over. Which to me seems like a small thing, right? But I mean, they easily could have just like messaged me and said, "Hey, we want to send something over for your mother's funeral." But anybody who's gone through a family death like that knows that during that time, it's highly stressful. You have a million things that you're already handling at that time. And so even just having to deal with answering somebody by saying, "Oh, yes, my mother's funeral is this day," and so forth, that does take some mental stress and places that on you, right? In a time where you're already dealing with so much. And the fact that they went out of their way to not only find that out and send those flowers, but to be thoughtful enough to not send, trouble me, quote unquote, trouble me with that during a very difficult time. It just shows how very thoughtful that the organization is. And, again, that's what I'm talking about when I talk about culture. So I know that was kind of a long story, but yeah, that's kind of an example. But they also do things like, just employee sanity stuff. Like they have some fun days that we do. Every month we have just kind of a random fun event that they hold. Sometimes it's like how to make your own charcuterie board, or a mixology class, yoga class, random stuff like that they do. They have public speakers. I think we're supposed to have Randy Couture. If you know Randy Couture, he's a MMA fighter, a well-known one. He's on the deck for coming to speak with us and everything like that. But things like that, right, where they're investing not just in you as a body that does work, but also investing in you just as a person, so that you're not just somebody filling a chair or a seat or a role on a contract and earning money. They actually want to help you develop not just your business skills, but also your personal skills. So that's something that has always been very important to me. And if it's not something that you've considered for yourself, I would highly encourage you to really start considering that as something that you look for in a company that you want to spend your future with, right? Stuff like that. They also have like more corny stuff where they send out welcome emails, asking you what your favorite books are and stuff like that. That's also kind of standard stuff. But what is not standard about my company was that the number of responses I got from random folks in my organization. So again, my organization is about 400 or so people, but it was interesting how many people saw that email introduction to, new hire Henry Paik, yada yada yada. He likes this musician. He likes this book and stuff like that. The number of people who actually messaged me throughout the organization that first day, literally even within hours of when that email came out, the number of people that emailed me just to say, "Hey, welcome to the organization. I also really enjoy, I don't know, Ed Sheeran or whatever, whoever it is," and people that had really would normally have like no interest. Like I'm in a completely different division from them. We're all remote. Like I think almost everyone in the organization is remote. People are in Texas, who are in California, just random people, right? Just throughout the organization, spend time to just go ahead and reach out and say, "Hey, welcome to the company. I like Ed Sheeran." And then there are folks that I had talked to who I got introduced to in the organization through just that first interaction that I still interact with today on a regular basis that I otherwise would never have come in contact with. So stuff like that. The it's not just the organization doing stuff, but the fact that they go ahead and hire people who also clearly value culture and have that kind of personality. So that was a long-winded explanation, answer to probably a short question, but we are done with the backpack finally. The way it works is you use these clips to clip onto the back of Optimus right there. And there we go. Optimus is all weaponed up, ready to take on Megatron. He's got a backpack, he's got his battle axe, he's got his Energon cube just in case he gets hungry. He's got his ion blaster, and the last thing we need to do is just build out his plaque, his name plaque. Oh, Star Titan says, I remember you talking about your mom. Again, my condolences. My mom passed away in August, and I completely understand even getting a flower arrangement can be very touching. Yeah, so I'm sorry to hear about that. I mean, that's very recent, Titan. So I'm sorry to hear about your loss. Obviously, no one can fully understand what you're going through, but hopefully you have a great support network personally with friends and family, as well as folks like us who may not know you personally, but can empathize with you. So yeah, actually, one of the actual main reasons why I took off today of all random days is that my mother's birthday is tomorrow. So we're heading over to my dad's to celebrate her first birthday since she passed. So I think I have a random 2x3. Where does this go? Oh, I must have missed this somewhere. Let me scroll back. Oh, I did completely miss it. Sorry, there's a random 2x3 gap filler in here. It doesn't seem to serve any other purpose except maybe making sure that these pieces don't pop out. But yeah, sorry to hear about that, Titan. If you ever didn't want to talk about it, I know we're just internet buddies and stuff, so forth. But if you ever want to talk about it with somebody who's gone through it with you, especially recently, just reach out. All right, some other alternate pieces that we have are the alternate grill. So when you go into alt mode, it's a little bit more real world vehicle accurate, I suppose, with this grill. So not a absolutely necessary piece, but sorry, I'm taking a little longer to put the sticker on than normal. It's for this very type of reason. I put it on slightly crooked, and that's always going to bother me. I'm going to know in my heart of hearts now that this is slightly crooked. Oh well. And then the little plaque here with the Optimus Prime info. So Optimus Prime function, his commander, freedom is the right of all sentient beings. Famous line that we all know as Transformers lovers. And then all of his stats. So we're going to go ahead and put this on his plaque. His nameplate. Let's try not to get it crooked this time. All right, there we go. With that, we should be all good. We got Optimus Prime with all his accessories, all weaponed up, his little nameplate here. And then I'll show off, lastly, how to go ahead and get him transformed. Very simple transformation, one that you would expect from an Optimus like this. All right, so first and foremost, let's get rid of all these little accessories onto the side. We will need to take off his weapon here, bring back forth his wrist port, take off his ion blaster. And I haven't done the ion blaster before in the storage. Oh, thanks, Titan. Primax says, any one of your coworkers is a fan of Transformers? I don't know. I've told my coworkers about this before, and they all kind of know I have a small YouTube channel. But Titan says, I appreciate it, and my prayers are with you and your family. I think the trick is to focus on what we've been blessed with and not what we've lost. Yeah, exactly. And hopefully we made the most out of the time we had with our family. A couple of things. I also noticed that these leg pieces, while the instructions show it to be like this, that's actually not accurate. And the pieces should be actually flipped, so they show it like this as well. But when you look at a real Optimus, you'll see that these details are supposed to be at the top. So left side, which is the way that they show it in the book, is incorrect. So make sure to flip those around. You also saw that a piece fell off the back. That's also an area where folks have made some minor adjustments. Yeah, because this piece, the upper and lower piece, will just completely move off. So one of the mods I'll show at some point is to correct this so that you can get some backwards hip movement. All right, so I think we did all the articulation previously. We're just going to go ahead and go into transformation. So first thing we'll do is remove the backpack. Oops. While I was holding this, these clips came off. As you can see, he is a little fragile to work with, but nothing too bad. So we'll go ahead and bring these pieces out. If you want to replace this piece, we can do that now. Lift that up. We're going to rotate at the waist. We're going to flip his head around like that, trying to get his, if you have his antenna split, you're going to want to fold it down like so. We're going to bring his arms like this, bring those like this, and we're going to bring the shoulders back in traditional Optimus form. We're going to pull this little filler out here. I'm going to rotate this in, get the wrist down. Oh, sorry. I think technically I was supposed to rotate these. Uh-oh. Rotate the hips up first. I'll give you a little bit more room to work with. And then you can lock the two legs together, fold the toes down, get the gas tank. Sorry, I should have done that before I got the hands in. So when we get the hands in, we rotate at the wrist. You do want to get the thumb all the way tucked back like this. Sorry, all the way back like this. And then tuck the hands down, close this down. Same thing on this side, so let's scooch down a bit actually. Get the arms bent, rotate back at the shoulders, get this little flap out. Rotate in on the forearm, get the wrist down after folding the thumb out, fold that flat, and then we just bring this down here. So there are 2 studs here that you want to use to secure in the bumper. It's kind of hard to do in front of the camera, but you do want to do that. Come on. There we go. And with that, you have Optimus Prime Lego in his alt mode. There are a couple areas which would have been nice if we could like peg in here so that this would secure a little bit better. There are some slight gaps here and there, but again, for a transforming Lego piece, not bad. Let me look up how to do the weapon storage. I know it goes between his legs, but since I didn't build that before, I need to make sure exactly how that goes. All right, so the instructions say we fold up the blaster handle, and then we just tuck it between the legs, and then push it forward, push it back. Oh, I think I was also supposed to rotate the Optimus head around before I tucked it in. Oh yeah, I was supposed to do that. I guess not a huge deal, but we'll rotate that around. Yeah, basically it just says to put it in here and then slide it back. But I don't know if it really actually slides back. Yeah, I don't see where it actually slides back. It says put it in. Doesn't seem like it slides back. But in any case, there it is. Storage for your weapon in alt mode. Don't have any storage for the axe. I actually wish they had done something to actually get this axe dual-sided here, so you don't have one kind of exposed side. That would have been nice. It probably would be fairly simple to modify to do that. But he does have nice rolling wheels. Looks quite nice. Again, the little attention to detail with the replacement grill and so forth, that was also nice. And the fact that this does transform pretty much how you would expect an Optimus to transform is also very nice. I gotta look up some modifications, and I may do a separate video on the ones that I do to mine. Probably not live instructions on how to do that, but just how the changes I made. There are a lot of cool ones, so I'm looking forward to making those changes, especially with the articulation in the knees and the hips, and maybe the head sculpt being a little bit different. So let's transform this guy back. First thing we'll do is loosen that up, bring the hands forward and up, bring the forearms out to the side, fold in this gap filler. Same thing on this side. Get the thumb straightened out. I have lots of Lego, never stopped getting it. Now with 2 kids, I have even more reason. Yeah, my daughter got some stuff for her birthday recently, which was the end of October. So we'll get the gun out. I should have done that first. Get the head around. Get the feet straightened out. Rotate this down. Get these gas tanks rotated. Split at those clips. Rotate at the waist. Come down with the grill. Pop this piece out. Pop this piece on. And then what I like to do, just to give them a bit of a better silhouette, is to try to make, not just have this flat on the chest, the grill, but actually try to push that back as much as you can. I don't know if that's official. The other reason is that way you can actually clip this in to these studs here. I feel like that probably is how they want you to do it, but I don't know if that's official or not. And then you can close these up. And with that, we're finally done. Part 4 and the final part of the live stream build for Lego Optimus Prime. I really enjoyed this build. I really enjoyed just the live streaming of it. Overall, I think they did a phenomenal job. Probably not as nice overall as like the Voltron, which had some more intricate stuff. There are some small modifications that, like I said, I'm going to make it a little bit better. So again, right now, because of these plates here, you can't really go backwards without popping this off and then your whole upper lower body. Most people say they just replace this with a 2x3 plate here instead. So I'll probably dig around my children's Lego box and try to find a piece that does that. But I am going to look into the complete hip and knee customization. So he does have knee articulation and thigh swivel as opposed to knee swivel here. And then again, lastly, just trying to fix up that head a little bit more to make it a little less awkward looking. But yeah, overall, I've really enjoyed it. Thanks for all of you who stuck with me through all these versions of the build. I'll be back probably later tonight with another review. So thanks again. I appreciate Lowell, Titan, Primax, who joined me just this weird time this morning. Anyone who's catching it on the rewind, if I messed anything up, or if you have any questions or comments on this Lego Optimus, let me know in the description, in the comments below, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. But we'll just do a final shot of everything we get with Optimus, and then we'll say farewell. All right, thanks everyone. Have a great rest of your Friday and weekend. We'll see you again next time.